EDSA, Maitang.
So if you haven't seen the clip already, there you go. And in some sense, my apologies for it being that graphic and shocking. But this is something that if you look at it in isolation, it should be eye-opening and disturbing, right? And so I'm going to make some comments about it. I know you got people on all sides of the fence. This is one of those incidents where if you don't know the Dalai Lama, just basically the spiritual leader that is the federal representation of the Tibetan Buddhism movement right now. So this person, I think it's the 14th Dalai Lama, and they're just, advocating for their culture and the traditions of Buddhist values. And of course, we know as a Christian, in terms of Buddhism, looking at that, of course, that is not the way, that's not the truth, that's not the life, and the way to heaven and to reconcile with the Lord. There are some things, yes, respectable, formidable with, the practices of what they're doing. And I don't even want to defend it in that sense. But if I want it to be objective, there are some good things. But of course, it's not the gospel, right, that we know it. And so knowing that with regards to how this person needs to stand and have conduct that is above reproach, if you look at this in isolation, right? This is not something where you got to figure out, if you talk about any of the other news that I talk about, right? January 6th, right? Or conspiracy stuff, behind the scenes stuff, Russia, Ukraine, like what's really going on? And you have to kind of do some more digging and piece things together. Recently, I read about Las Vegas, the shooter thing, and like what really happened and all this stuff, right? There's nothing to clue in on here. You look at this video and you say, was that right or was that wrong? Was that given cultural world context of all these people that probably will come upon it and look at it, which now it has. It's gone super viral on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. Right now, if you see it in some places, it's basically censored, or at least it's blurred out. The boy's blurred out. But you look at that in isolation and you think, if something inside of you is looking at that and saying, man, is this a reflection of something else? Now, I'm not accusing the Dalai Lama to have, I don't know, closed door relationships and pedophilia stuff, probably, given all of these accusations and all of the stuff that is, hidden in the dark web, the recordings and all that stuff, right? So I'm not getting into that. But if I were to give this person the benefit of the doubt, if this person on a hot mic, on a live camera, does this, right? If you put any pastor there, you put Trump there, you put any of these other guys there, and this person does it, then what are you going to do? Are you going to defend them? Are you going to rebuke it, right? If you go to Twitter or any of these places, they're saying things like, let me read one quote. This person, my opinion, the boy kissed Dalai Lama, which is likely a little too much. The Dalai Lama played with it or played along with it to make it look okay and not embarrass the boy. It's pretty sweet and 2 clean hugs at the end. This is what somebody really is looking at this in terms of defending it. And I don't know if they're idolizing this person, but they're obviously going through mental gymnastics, trying to justify these things and gaslighting themselves. And so you look up articles of people's opinions, you look at the mainstream media, and they're going very soft on him, right? They're saying, yeah, it was a little, but it's okay because blah blah, and they're literally putting any sort of justification to that. And of course, like I said, you look at this in isolation. Given everything going on in culture today, was that the best that this person could do? Obviously, it's not. And so I'm saying this not only in terms of what you're seeing, like I've said, in terms of the season of exposure that we are in, but also that there's just all this hidden stuff, the heart, the depths of your heart, desires, they're coming to light. And so who knows? Is the Dalai Lama and just this whole thing of underground child trafficking and just this crazy stuff, is this a reflection, just a little bit peeking out, right? Just a little glimpse of it coming out. Is this a deeper reflection of something else that is about to be exposed? People talked, and even prophetically speaking said, with some of these leaders, religious leaders, their day will come, especially if they're not sold out believers in Jesus Christ and God worshiping, God glorifying people, then these people, they're going to have their day. And so, again, I'm not trying to sound ill of the Dalai Lama and just these people, but again, I need to make some comments about this because the trend that we're going is that you will see exposure, you will see people be put in their place or brought down, whatever you want to call it. But these things, the stuff that's been hidden will be hidden no longer. Now, I'm not going to defend or try to look at this in any other way, right? Cultural way, like, oh, maybe there was some sense of sympathy and just this cute play. Like, there's no, when you look at it, it's like there's no way you can have any justification for some of these things. And so look for more of these one-time evidence-based snapshot like events, just like this, and then look for all the other stuff. I've talked about this, the complicated, what really went on. Was there some operation going on? Is there some, 3D chess, fifth dimensional something? All that other stuff will come to light as well. But just be wary of this kind of stuff because we're in a big season. It's very scary in some sense. I hope and pray to the Lord that you are, many of you watching, you are in a place for which you can be blameless and upright in your conduct in front of not only the Lord, but just the people around you, because you have to be good witnesses. You have to be a good example of Christ. And this person, sadly, this is not good. And the other thing I'll say is that, this person acknowledges himself as his holiness, the holiness, right? And in fact, let me read their apology note that they put on Twitter from their official office of His Holiness. And they call him His Holiness, right? And just even very quickly about that, holiness. You attribute any kind of holiness to the Lord. And you could talk about semantics and little things like that. He capitalizes the H. Even that is a little, obviously it's off-putting and stuff like that. But I mean, this is here nor there, right? And so the tweet, his apology says, a video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before cameras. He regrets the incident. And so he got caught, and he now regrets it because it went so viral. But again, like I've said before, who knows what this person and many others, right? I'm not just singling him out, but in terms of being a religious, quote unquote, important figure, there's got to be a higher standard, right? But he regrets it because he got caught. There are other things. Who knows what he's been doing, what these other people have been doing, but their day will come. And if you sit there and you have any kind of justification for French kissing a boy and playfully teasing him, I mean, what else goes on behind the scenes? I don't even want to imagine that. But that information is also out there. People have claimed, they've shown, and it's terrible. If you ever research or do any kind of digging on this child stuff, pedophilia stuff, it is absolutely disgusting. And so this stuff will come out. You'll see it. Mark my words, God is exposing. He's turning rocks over, and He's exposing and bringing justice to this type of stuff. So love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.